We begin tonight with breaking news out of Louisville, Kentucky, where police say at least 2 officers have been shot. I'm Shannon Heggie.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. New at 11, we learned one officer is alert and stable. The other is in surgery but stable. One person is in custody.
The shootings happened as protests grow over the lack of charges for officers in Breonna Taylor's death. As we first reported on 12 News Now at 4 over on PRI 12, a Kentucky grand jury has indicted one officer involved in the killing of Taylor on charges of wanton endangerment. No officers have been charged directly with her death. That decision prompting nationwide protests. And new tonight, here's video from Louisville where several fires have been set in the city as protesters march through the streets. This video was taken before the 9 o'clock curfew went into effect.
And in Washington, D.C., protesters are responding with tears and anger after the grand jury failed to charge the officers. Hundreds of people peacefully marched downtown chanting slogans and carrying signs.
Here at home, a group of people met at Burnside Park in Providence to protest the lack of indictments in the Taylor case. At one point, police officers stopped protesters from getting on the highway.
12 News reporter Rob Nesbitt joins us now live from Providence with the latest. Rob?
The protest started in Burnside Park behind me right around 8 p.m. and then for 2.5 hours walked throughout downtown Providence. They had the same message that they've had for months: no justice, no peace. They feel as though the justice system has failed them and Breonna Taylor. The chant started when news broke Wednesday that no charges would be filed in the murder of Breonna Taylor, who was shot and killed by police at her Louisville home more than 6 months ago.
The justice system let us down again.
President of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, Gary DANTZLER, joined protesters outside of the Providence Public Safety Complex, overwhelmed by the decision of a Kentucky grand jury.
I think it's very upsetting. You know, I'm frustrated. I feel overwhelmed right now. I'm filled with rage. I'm angry. I'm mad.
More than a dozen gathered in front of police officers and barricades. Protesters also gathered in Providence's Burnside Park Wednesday night. 22-year-old Miguel Sanchez joined the crowd to call for police reform and racial justice.
This is our community. This is where we live. This is where we need to be heard. We need to put pressure on local officials, and we need to be known that that stuff will not be tolerated in our city.
A night of solidarity in Providence to keep Breonna Taylor's name alive, in hopes that change will come.
The people who killed Breonna Taylor should be arrested. Those 3 cops should go to jail, for prison for life.
The protest ended in Memorial Park right around 10:30. It dispersed peacefully. Kentucky's Attorney General said Wednesday that 2 different ballistics reports had differing conclusions that made it unclear which police officer shot their gun at Breonna Taylor, killing her. Reporting live in Providence, I'm Rob Nesbitt, 12 News.